morning, everybody. Elated to kickstart the first fireside session of the day with Mr. Rajiv DUBEY. Dabur is one of the largest advertisers, FMCG advertisers in the country, and I believe they are the best people to understand the current landscape of traditional media in India. So my first question to you, I'll dive right in. How do you think that traditional media has been able to expand its pie? Because we know how COVID impacted traditional media, right? And digital took off. But we see now that traditional media is getting back in the game. How do you perceive the current traditional media landscape for advertising in India?
So hi, Jenny. Not the first time we are talking, but the first time in front of public.
True.
Other interviews have been on the phone. So, the biggest thing which I see in this country is that, this country is Hindi plus several languages, right? So, if you look at the ecosystem of the regional television channels or regional publications, that is growing very, very fast. If you were to divide the country in languages and in terms of how many different languages are isolatable in terms of for advertising, you'll find almost 8 or 9 are there, right? If you look at 4 southern languages, 4 southern states with 4 different set of channels, then Orissa, West Bengal, Maharashtra, this becomes 7, and 8th is Punjab, 9th is Hindi, and 10th is English. There are 10 distinct different types of traditional media you can look at. What happens is that, South is very saturated. South is still very TV dominated. South is very TV dominated. Then West Bengal is highly TV dominated. Orissa is highly TV dominated. Maharashtra is highly TV dominated. Where the shoe is pinching is Hindi market, But all other markets are growing very, very well. And the consumption of, say, traditional media, be in television or say in regional vernacular newspapers, or say OTT, that's on the rise. So that's why I think that, traditional media is here to stay and it will have a longer run.
With respect to your specific organization, Dabur, how have you been deploying your traditional versus digital advertising plans?
So our traditional spends have stayed, that's still the first port of call. We still invest behind the traditional media in a much bigger way than as compared to, say, digital at the moment. Digital, what happens is a lot of money goes into the performance side of it, right? Because, if you want to be there on the, say, marketplaces and, say, you run your own D2C site, you have to spend money behind it. And that money goes into servicing that. As far as media part of digital is concerned, that is smaller. But these two put together is not as big as, say, television, because television still is over 21 crore households are connected to television today. And a large number, so even the newspapers, for example, newspapers are also, they have had, some bad run in between because of COVID, but again, they've caught up, and it's become a go-to destination for all the premium products. Television is gradually, what is happening is that regional, I said the regional is grown and regional is doing very well. Hindi also, people are finding newer kind of content which is coming in now and which is getting new viewers, Surprisingly, imagine all the old programs which were running for several years, they have had those ratings are falling gradually. But, imagine a program like Laughter Chef, imagine a cookery show which makes you laugh, that kind of shows, those kind of shows are doing very well right now, And, every year you have shows like Saregama, which comes on Z, and then shows like Big Boss, which happens across different markets. These bring in new audiences every year. So, although one sees that, people are going away from this, but, new events like cricket, new events like these standalone shows, they bring in new viewers to the channel.
Right. Makes sense. With respect to print, radio, OOH, cinema, these are the major top heads that we define traditional advertising into. How do you think that they can expand their revenue further going onwards? Because we know for one that OOH has been able to recover the fastest out of all of these because it was able to integrate itself with digital and launch DOOH, which was also again measurable. So how do you think the other media formats can maybe increase their revenue by with changing times?
I think the toughest times are being seen by the radio currently, barring radio, because the radio has a huge competition from online music streaming platforms.
Yeah.
However, platforms like newspaper I see a huge good recovery. You look at newspapers, not today's newspaper. I feel like going forward next 2-3 days, you'll find that newspapers will have multiple jackets, because of the long weekend. So it's a go-to destination for all the premium products, all the real estate. Today if you want to sell, say, a Mercedes S-Class, you don't want to go to digital and sell it, right? You won't go to TV to sell it. You'll probably advertise it in newspapers. You'll find all the big car brands being advertised, all the big properties which are going to get sold in this country are advertised in newspapers. Newspapers, again, a very strong destination. Same goes for outdoor. Outdoor, what one has seen is that the quality of media which you see in outdoor has improved a lot. The usage of rich media in outdoor, that's growing, and so that's there too. I mean, monetization will happen if if you can give some extra value to the advertiser. That's about outdoor. Then newspapers, I told you. Television, the regionalization of news channels, all the TV channels, that's helping a lot. I think that the pie is going to grow because when you offer something new to the viewers, that's how you get new businesses. How do you grow new businesses? Only by getting the new consumers to come to your business, or you ask the same consumers to increase the consumption. In this case, getting new viewers, getting new consumers to come in and experience the media, that's the only way the revenues of the traditional media or say any other media will increase.
I was talking to one of the marketers in the past few days, and they have always been a very traditional retail business. Now, they also actively invest in digital rather than traditional, of course, because of the measurability factor. Measurement is one thing that is missing in traditional media formats as of now, and that is why, there's a report that says in the coming year, 8.4% growth is foreseen for traditional, and the double of that, about 15.6% is foreseen for digital media advertising, which I guess that much of gap is only because of the measurability factor that the digital mediums provide. According to you, please address this issue first, and then maybe move on to other challenges that traditional media is facing as of now.
I think digital is the one which has a challenge of measurability, not television so much. Yes, there's an issue with newspapers a bit, and outdoor you can't measure in a way, but the only test of all this is that if the business grows, then you think that something's working for you. And to do this, one must keep advertising. That's the only way of trying it out. Digital is also not 100% measurable. Say, if you were to look at say, comprehensive measurement for a brand across different mediums, that is not possible to it. It's still not possible. In digital, you basically get reports which are coming from the same guy who's selling you the media, right? So how much you can believe, it's always been a question. Television, I think, is very well measured in this country. Almost 55,000 households are measured every day, every second. So I think there is, then the question happens, whether it's right or wrong, but at least there's something which you can measure. But with digital, there are still a lot of questions, about brand safety, around what are you, whether your money is going to the right places, etc. So these issues always remain, but you have to find the best mix and continuously advertise. That's the only thing which basically works for a brand. If you keep advertising, you'll find some avenues where you can find some value.
I'm just trying to kind of balance out the discussion here. I don't want to make the discussion lopsided to either digital or traditional. But you see, the measurability issue is there with TV and print as well. We haven't seen updated numbers in print since a few years. And TV had that whole bark matter where channels pulled out of it and then maybe some of them came back. All of that fiasco. So you see that digital still has an upper hand over there, but traditional media, even though has been very prevalent, but the data is not that readily available and that latest data is not available. What's your view on that?
Yeah, I mean, why the money is going to digital is because, it offers so much solution and it's out there. I mean, you can see that, the usage of digital has been on a rise. In case of print, I think the print owners were a little scared of getting measured, because I don't print it, what I just said. because what happened is that, the first circulations fell, and they had a lot of time, they took a lot of time to catch up. And they still haven't caught up probably 100% to the pre-COVID era. So that's been a challenge. But personally, as an advertiser, what I felt is that whenever I advertise in print, I always get very good returns.
Right.
And
I've heard that from a lot of marketers on.
Yeah, so it matters a lot, I mean, look at all the automobile companies, their first port of call is print. It's not, it's always, I mean, of course, they advertise in other medium also, but print is where they go first, that's where the lead generation happens. They can't measure it, they can't connect it back to the consumers probably, but always the first port of call. Similarly, for us, whenever we want to create an impact, whenever we want to do something which want to tell something new to people, print is always the first port of call.
Understood. When we were not on stage, I remember us discussing something about how connected TV, even though it's banked upon by a lot of people, but still it is not the best way to go ahead in digital. I would like you to expand more on that how digital content, digital streaming content, and advertising on that content is impacting traditional media and how it's not that best of an option as much as it seems to be.
Yeah, first of all, I think CTV stands for confused TV, because the household which has a CTV has too many options to choose from. One is that, you have cable probably, if you're not disconnected. The moment you have your disconnected cable, then it becomes a cord cutter household. You might have a cable in your household or say a DTH. Then you have some OTTs. Then you have YouTube. Then you have streaming happening from one of your OEM players, so you have so much to watch in that, and you are confused, what should I watch, and that is not measured, whereas TV household is measured, the CTV household is not measured. So that's one big challenge. Secondly, if you go OTT by OTT, standalone one OTT versus the other, the numbers are very small. The numbers are like in less than 10 million, most. The only two players like Hotstar and YouTube, these are the ones which have higher numbers. And Hotstar is consumed only when there is a live cricket happening. And
Hotstar, are you saying Hotstar has better numbers than Netflix? I used to think Netflix is the most prevalent.
At least 8 times more of Netflix, if not more.
I think we have a headline right there.
Yeah. Netflix is very small, still very small. Okay. Just because what happens in this country is that this syndrome called PLU syndrome. It's called people like us, Yeah. You watch, I watch, everybody watches. That's what we think.
No, but you're right about the live streaming of games. If Hotstar is 8x more, it is only because of the live streaming rights that it picks up. But getting back to the topic, I would like to engage the audience at this point. A lot of us, I know, have seen a lot of digital ads, but we also recall a lot of outdoor ads. How many of you remember we saw a Maybelline ad which had eyelashes on the London train. It was a very viral ad. I don't know if people have seen it here. Has anybody seen it here? Yeah. On social media, right? So, that's what my point was, that outdoor has a lot of brand credibility and it has a strong brand recall. So, what is the way that people can maximize this? Because now, exactly how Tasmai said, people are investing into outdoor because it has a strong brand recall, but then they're using it to create chatter online. So there's an integration that is happening right there. Can you expand a little more on that? What's the scenario there?
It's a very interesting take. You put something on outdoor and then you create something and it goes viral, etc., etc. But for an FMCG player, it becomes very, very expensive mechanism to do this. If I put the same amount of money somewhere else, probably I'll get much more ROI. But however, for a brand like Maybelline and say London, etc., and I mean those guys have a lot of money. We don't. We have very small little money. So I put outdoors in very strategic locations and make a nice 3D out of it. But unfortunately, we have not tried that route of using social media to getting talked about. But it's a very good point. Thank you so much for the lead. I will use that.
No, but we've seen Netflix and e-commerce and OTTs going doodh mango kheer denge, all of that.
Yeah.
OTT
So in fact, Netflix has used it in a very nice way. I mean, if you go to Bombay, you'll see a lot more outdoors than you see in Delhi for some reason. But yeah, I mean, the thing is that there's a 100 crore rule which I apply in any media. If you put 100 crores into something, then only you'll get visibility. Like if you put 100 crores on television, you'll get good visibility. If you put 100 crores in outdoor, you'll get very good visibility. If you put 100 crores in news channels, you will be the biggest brand in that. So unless you do it at scale, you'll not get what you want. Anything done at a subscale level will never get a return. So scale is very important, more than anything else.
Right, makes sense. Are there any particular regions and demographics that you as a company focus on when it comes to investing in traditional media? And for which media do you invest in which specific demographic?
Actually, it's quite secular across the states. However, what happens is there's some brands which sell in certain geographies more. And the growth, it depends on the growth also. Like for example, our oral care brand, like Red Toothpaste, has taken a leadership in South. It's the #1 toothpaste in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Orissa, entire eastern coast of the country. And it's bigger than Colgate. Obviously, it has giving much higher growth. So we advertise these products more in South and East than say North.
Medium? By which medium? Because you're saying...
So primarily television. So FMCG company is primarily television driven, and then the second most important thing is in digital performance side of marketing, performance marketing, where you basically you put money and you see immediate results, and then there'll be digital. Outdoor is still not as big for us because we have to go and sell our product to each and every person in this country. Outdoor is very focused in a localized geography, right? It doesn't serve the masses. So we look at mass media much more than anything else.
Which is an interesting fact because you say that. Pitch Madison advertising report said that 33% of ADEX for outdoor comes from FMCGs. So I guess as a company, fragmented way maybe the investment in OOH is small, but all put together FMCGs are giving a lot to outdoor.
Yeah, because see, thing is that any media, if you look at television, then also you'll find that FMCG is 38 to 40%. If you look at digital, also it'll be, although numbers are not available, but it'll definitely be more than 40%. So I'm not surprised.
Right. Okay, inching towards the end of the discussion, I would love for you to explain 2 or 3 advices or suggestions that you'd like to give for brands who want to balance traditional versus digital in their marketing advertising plan.
I'm hardly an advisor in this case. I mean,
At this point with the mic and stage, you are, sir.
Yeah, okay. So the only thing I would say is that just focus on the consumer. Look at what is giving you more returns. I can give you examples from my experience because my experience is based on the company which I work in. My products are available in almost every household in the country. My idea is to retain my consumers and get the current consumers to consume more and probably buy more products for my company. So to do that, I am present in traditional media more and that works for me, But what I have also seen is that whenever I have launched a product which is only meant for digital media or only meant for a small geography, then say a regional media works very, very well. And if you want to target certain geo and you have multiple cuts in your advertising in terms of say targeting, then digital media works very, very well. So it's not one size which fits all, depending on the brand, depending on the product which you're trying to sell, depending on the geography you're going to go to. depending on who's the consumer, you have to devise your media choices.
Right,
Choose
makes
your
sense. Okay, thank you so much, sir, for your time. I hope you people enjoyed the discussion.